Hello there guys and welcome to another race here in SpeedMax Racing for round number 4 here in Texas at the Circuit of the Americas. And after missing the third round because I was outside my home, I'll tell you the reason why in another video that isn't one of the races I had. Well, you might know it, but well, here we are back into racing, and to be honest, I wasn't really prepared for this race, so yeah, I was going to expect still to get a few points, great points, like two digit, in the top 5, because if you finish 5th place, they give you 10 points, and this is the beginning where you receive double digit of points. So yeah, we're leaving the pit lane and hope we can perform well in qualifying, but I don't think so because I have been struggling a little bit making those lap times. But well, let's see if on this time it is the exception, and well, hope we can make a great lap as I said early on. So after ending my first flying lap, we set a lap time of 1:33.992, which for now sets us into P3. To be honest, this lap time wasn't really good, and we were seeing that Tamal was a professional pole with mediums, so I think he will be really fast and might get pole position. Well, he is a candidate for getting the pole position. Meanwhile, make things more humiliating, Marco de la Paz, my teammate, sets a faster lap time than me, so yeah, that is not a really good thing. So yeah, we need to do another lap time, but before we head into that, let's talk about the championship standings. So Fer Tapia leads the championship by 56 points, followed by Angel Ruperto, which has 36 points. And remember that I am talking about the championships after round 3, which is in Belgium, and on the Belgium race I haven't participated, and despite finishing just only 5th and 4th place, I am in 3rd place in the championship with 22 points. That is just a miracle that I'm in that position in the championship. Then follow my teammate Marco de la Paz with 20 points, then Toscano, then Topito, then Rodespala, then Adilfo, then Alan, and the one who is in 10th place is the highest position driver, who is a reserve one in the championship, which is El Copramen, who has 12 points. Well, you can see the whole championship, but I'm not going to tell about the standings. So let's now head into the constructors. So after the Belgian race, Red Bull is leading the championship by 74 points, followed by Ferrari, then Mercedes, then Aston Martin, then McLaren, then Alfa Tauri, then Alfa Romeo, Haas, which those two teams that I mentioned early on, they are tied with 9 points each. I'm talking about Alfa Romeo and Haas, then Williams, and the only team who is yet to score a point is Alpine, who is in last position in the standings. So yeah, here is the standings, and now let's move on to our second flying lap. And on my second flying lap, which was on the used soft tires because I'm only using 2 on this session, was so bad that I decided to abort this lap, and instead I'm going into the pit lane, and I just decided to brake so late that I just passed it and I just crashed into the wall, destroying my front right suspension. That is just pretty bad. Yeah, that is so bad. I should have braked earlier, but no, instead I decided to just go for it, and as a consequence I just braked too late that I missed the the corner to get into the pit lane, and with that I crash into the wall, DNFing. And also Distraous is out of the session, crashing at the same, well, almost at the same place I crashed, but he crashed on the inside, exiting the the penultimate corner, and well, myself, who crashed in the pit lane, entering that. And with that, qualifying is over, and our time of 1:33.992 is our final time. I don't know how many places I'll drop down, but I think I'll get into the bottom places. Qualifying ended, and we see that Vertapia got pole position, followed by Jolton, then Barretero, then Tamal, who I thought that he would get pole position maybe in the front row, but no, he got into fourth, then Valiant, then Peña, which in total it is just the first three front rows were occupied by Sky drivers, so yeah, it is a domination from Sky. The highest qualified driver, who isn't a Sky, was my teammate Marco de la Paz, then Adilfo, then Alan, then another Sky, which is Nube, then a sixth row lockout for us, THR, which is Topito and myself. Then Sunshine, and the last driver who is in the top 14 is Glutak. Then the other drivers who qualified 15th to 20th have not been mentioned by myself, so yeah. If you want to get mentioned in qualifying results, at least qualify higher than 14th. So now, let's move into the pre-race strategy. So the pre-race strategy is not going to be a confirmed strategy, although it says medium hard, but yeah, I'm decided to just start with mediums, and depending on how the race goes, well, it'll change from medium hard to medium soft, or it'll stick to like the alternative strategy. I decided to go for it. And also, as usual, I decided to lower the fuel down to 51.5 kilograms, underfuel it just in case there is a safety car, and if not, I decided to not underfuel that much, so I don't have to lift and coast extremely. So with that, let's now head into the proper race. So now that the players get loaded, so we can begin the race. Now they have, and the 5 red lights have turned on, and it's lights out, and we are on the way for round number 4 here in Kota, and we're seeing that Sunshine is about to overtake us, but into turn 1 we are seeing that we head pretty cleanly, and we saw that a Haas has spawned, and we are up into the points. That is a pretty good start finally in SpeedMax racing after 2 bad starts in the last 2 races I've participated. So now, for the first time ever in SpeedMax racing, I have a good start and I don't get down places, and instead we get up a few places. So I had to lift and coast, so I decided to not overtake immediately because there might not be safety car, and I need to lift and coast, and we're seeing that Alan has spawned. I think, yeah, he has spawned, and we are approaching to overtake Peña, but I decided to not overtake, and instead I decided to lift and coast just to conserve few more fuel. So yeah, we are in 9th place, 3 places up after the race start. So yeah, finally we have a good start, and we aim to overtake way more people, but unfortunately I ran wide. But well, the good thing is that it didn't cost that much, and hope we can get up a few more places. And on lap 2 we see that Adolfo and Nubel jump badly, but we see that Peña has just got anchored with Adolfo, and they spawn and just crash into the wall. Adolfo DNF'd, and that meant that the safety car has been deployed. Yeah, sorry for not saying those things in the same time, but I couldn't speak way faster, and and that you guys could understand. But yeah, I was heading in turn 1, exited that corner, and I was just seeing how Adifo was trying to overtake Nube, or at least battle, but Peña was there and he was on the very inside, and Adifo and Peña touched the wheels and they spun to the inside wall and crashed. And I think that Adilfo's suspension has turned off. I don't know which, because I haven't seen that crash, but yeah, he has turned off his suspension, one of his suspension, and that meant that he DNF'd, and with that, the safety car has been deployed. I decided to stay out because it is just lap 2 and we are mediums. I don't think it is worth it to box 4 hards and 19 with those tires at the end of the race. I mean, until the end of the race, I don't think they'll last that long with that optimal performance. So yeah, let's get into the safety car and make this fuel punched up and wait until the safety car ends. And meanwhile, let's heat up our tires. But we're seeing that some drivers are boxing and we are getting up to P6. So yeah, we have made a little comeback, but it is because Tamal boxed and also because most drivers crashed and spun. So yeah, with that thing, let's wait until the safety car ends and let's heat up our tires. And we waited until the end of lap 4 for the safety car to end, and we finally begin to race once again, beginning lap 5. But first we need to do a good relaunch, and that's the thing we are about to do. But we are seeing that it is just going to be a decent relaunch, or maybe a bad one, because Glutek is trying to overtake us down the inside. I tried to defend from the inside, but I couldn't defend that much, and he overtook me down the inside, but he tried it and failed it, and I am still in 6th place, and I'm trying to approach Nube and overtake him, but I don't know if I am able to do this thing, but well, let's give it a try. But unfortunately, the only thing I have done is getting further and further with Nube, and instead it is the other Haas who is going to overtake me on lap 7 on this big straight, and the engineer is telling me to change the strategy, but I'm sticking with boxing 4 hards. But unfortunately, I got overtaken by Barreteo, and I'm down to 7th place. And another Sky is about to overtake me, and this time it is Tamal. So yeah, I need to pick up the pace because I'm running really slow. I'm fading off the pace, so I need to pick up the pace, or else I'll drop down to the lower positions, maybe outside of the points. And we are seeing that Barker has spun and crashed into a wall, and we got up into 6th place, and that means that the virtual safety car has been deployed because of that crash. Still, despite Pertero crashing terribly into the wall, he's still in the race because he only damaged terribly his front wing, and that's it. Now we are on lap 8, and now I can calm down a little bit because I don't need to be really fast, and instead I need to be slower than the delta time, and I want to be less than a 10th slower than the delta time, but I don't want to be faster, or else I'll get penalized with the drive-through penalty, and drive-through penalty is like having like a 20-second time penalty. So yeah, I need to respect, but still I want to be on the closest as possible. And the virtual safety car is ending, and I decided to brake a little bit, but I was heading into a corner and the delta was just dropping so drastically, so I decided to brake more, but unfortunately that was just a terrible mistake because the virtual safety car has ended and Tamal overtook me and he got DRS, and that brings me back to 7th place. So yeah, that is just a misery, and we just braked too late that we ran wide and almost rear-end Tamal. Yeah, that is not a good moment on this race that I'm having, so yeah, I need to be as fast as possible and hope this doesn't get worse. At the end of lap 12, we are still in 7th place, but that'll change because nobody is boxing, and now on lap 13, we are seeing that Sunshine is about to overtake us on the inside into turn 1, and I decided to do an accidental switchback because I think I kinda locked my rear brakes, and that meant that I could steer way more than usual to the left, and I could make the switchback and re-overtake Sunshine and get back to 6th place. And I was talking about that the engineer was telling me that I was about to box in this lap, but seeing the tire wear and the battle with Sunshine and myself, I decided to stay out a little bit more, and I decided to gamble it and waiting until like lap 16 or 17, maybe 18 to box for soft tires. So yeah, I changed the strategy. It is going to be a medium soft for me, and I got overtaken by Sunshine and got back to 7th place, but I am planning to re-overtake him because he has the same pace as myself, so I can get this pretty easier than the other drivers. So let's see if we can do this thing. Let's just wait until we get until the final corner. We are seeing that my teammate has gone into the pits, and I just exceeded the track limits. I think it is the first time I exceed the track limits on this race, so I need to be careful. If I exceed the track limits 2 more times, I get a 3-second time penalty. If I get 3 warnings, and we're seeing that Tamal has a 3-second time penalty, and I couldn't overtake Sunshine, so we are still stuck in 6th place. Now we are on lap 14, getting halfway through the race. I need to be careful with those corners because it is easy to leave the track, so let's be careful and let's not risk for all, or else I might have the big risk of exceeding the track limits and get another warning. So the good thing is that I still have Sunshine's DRS, so we are exiting, I think, turn 11, and we open our DRS and we deploy off our ERS, and to beat this big straight we deploy much more ERS and we head into the braking zone. Down the inside we overtake Sunshine and we get back to now 5th position. And Sunshine was trying to do a switchback with me, but I defended my place, and Sunshine was trying to still re-overtake me into those corners, but I decided to defend my place pretty good, and we are now back to 5th place. We see that Tamal has now 6 seconds of penalties accumulated, and there's yellow flags. I don't know who was the one who provoked the yellow flags, but it wasn't important because that didn't deploy the virtual safety car, but it was not Tamal. What? I don't know what happened to him. Tamal is out of the race, and we are now up into 4th place. That is just a pretty good thing for us, and we are defending from Sunshine. So yeah, that is just a miracle. I wasn't expecting Tamal to retire from the race. I think he has fun and decided to rage quit and retire, because at the top screen it didn't appear me the message that Tamal is out of the race. So if it doesn't appear that message at the top of the screen, but it appears the message that he has retired, that means that someone has retired from the race voluntarily. But if it appears the top message that is out of the race, that means that he has retired because he got terminal damage. And meanwhile I am trying to defend from Sunshine, deploying much of my ERS, and we break a little bit late enough to maintain our 4th place. That is just pretty good. And once again we are ahead of Sunshine. So yeah, ooh, that wasn't really good cornering. I just ran a little bit wide, And Sunshine, I don't know, I think he was trying to overtake me down the inside into that corner. I went a bit wide. Now we head into the penultimate corner. The bad thing is that I don't have DRS, and instead Sunshine has DRS from myself, so I am in danger of being overtaken by him once again. But let's see if on this time I can still defend from him, and looks like it is once again the same case as from the other laps, which is that I could defend successfully, or maybe not, because I just got turn 1 pretty badly, and still I am in 4th place. Sunshine is getting way frustrated because I am defending my place and he cannot overtake me. But unfortunately I'm just going so badly into those corners. Maybe he'll take advantage of that and he can overtake me, but he has a 3-second time penalty, maybe 6, I don't know. Maybe he has just only 3-second time penalty. I decided to defend from Peña, and unfortunately Sunshine overtook me around the outside and he got DRS. Meanwhile I am in danger of being overtaken by Peña, and I am going to get boxed in. That is just pretty bad, but instead I decided to switch lines and almost overtake Sunshine down the inside. But I need to defend from Peña, and we are heading into the same corner I ran wide in the previous lap. Oh my goodness me! Oh! No, you cannot do this to me. And Peña just went to the inside, but he miscalculated it and he just crashed into me. Oh man, that is just terrible, and that damaged my front wing, and with that I have to box for soft tires and I just ran wide. But the good thing is that they did not penalize me, but that meant that I lost lots of seconds, and I lose 5 seconds more because of that pit stop of replacing the front wing. So yeah, I need to run 12 laps with soft tires, which were more than I wanted to do. But well, hope we can make to the end of the race with those tires. Meanwhile, we're down to 15th place. That is not a good thing, and we might get down to last place if Vitalius overtake us. But the good thing is that he didn't overtake us, so we are still in 15th. But yeah, that is the bad thing. We are in 15th. But the good thing is that T'Challa and Sammy have penalties, so that means that I can get up into P13 with those penalties applied. But now on lap 20 we only got up into 12th place. I think the field has been sprawled up, but we are about to overtake the weather was pretty easily into the straight, heading into turn 12, and it was just a pretty easy overtake. But still I decided to leave him space just in case he breaks so late that it is almost considered as running wide. But we get now up into 11th place. That will turn into a points finish. I mean 10th, because T'Challa has 6 seconds of penalties accumulated and he is less than 6 seconds ahead of me. Also, Vertapia set the fastest lap of the race when I was heading into turn 12. Now I have DRS from T'Challa and I am about to overtake him. Maybe not. I decided to still manage just a little bit my ERS. Sammy is out of the race, so now we are just 15 runners. We are seeing that T'Challa's ERS has been running out of it. So, well, that means that when we get into the straight between turns 11 and 12, it will mean that I can overtake him pretty easily. Peña has now a 3-second time penalty because he exceeded the track limits now 3 times, and hope this doesn't happen to me. Meanwhile, the gap between Adobe the Boss and myself is now up to 1.3 seconds. Now we are about to overtake T'Challa. Deploy ERS until 60%. We overtake him. We overtake around the outside into turn 12. But yeah, T'Challa braked so late that he could defend his 10th place. Pretty good on him. Let's see if we can overtake in the main straight. We see that Partero has dropped down to P9, and we see that he has 6 seconds of penalties accumulated. So that means that if he gets 4 seconds slower than me, the gap between myself, oh wait, he has boxed, so that means that it'll be 10th place for me physically and in a free manner. So yeah, we're now in 10th and we are about to get into 9th physically, but I decided to not overtake Tachala and instead wait until the big straight. So yeah, we are now waiting and we are heading into the SS, seeing that Tachala is making those corners a bit different than myself. We see that Partero is out of the race. Well, we just saw the message that Partero has retired from the race. And now we are into turn 11. We head into that corner and we are seeing that Marco de la Paz, my teammate, is down to 8th place and he's yet to receive a penalty. Good on him. But we are about to overtake Tachala around the outside into the big straight before heading into turn 12. And now we have a 9th position physically, but we see that Marco de la Paz, I don't know what happened to him, but we are seeing that he has paused and we are seeing that his AI is taking control of him instead of Marco de la Paz himself. I don't know what happened to him, but hope we can overtake him and get up into P8. And good thing is that we could overtake him, but the bad thing for Marco de la Paz is that he is being overtaken by Tachala. Still, I don't think that I have let him DRS, and yeah, Tachala overtook Marco de la Paz and he's up into P9, but Tachala has 6 seconds of penalties accumulated, so that means that Marco de la Paz is still in 9th place, unless that Tachala gets like 6 seconds faster and makes that gap at the end of the race. But I don't know, I don't think this as a probable one, but maybe it is possible just in case Marco de la Paz spins, but I don't want him to have bad luck for him. So I won't say lots of things about him, but let's move on and hope we can maintain with this 8th position. I don't think I'll overtake more drivers at the end of the race because the gap between the driver next to me and myself is 13.7 seconds. So unless he spins, I don't think I'll overtake him. Unless I drive like God and he spins, but other than that, I don't think I'll overtake him. And at the end of lap 24, beginning lap 25, Tachala is about to overtake me down the inside. He's aiming for it, and into turn 1, he goes for it, and I decide to do a switchback. But at the same time, Marco de la Paz was going to the inside, and he spun me, and I've dropped down to 12th place. That's just a terrible thing. My teammate crashing into me, but to be honest, I didn't see him coming. I wasn't expecting my teammate going down the inside. So yeah, a quick explanation is that Tachala overtook me down the inside into turn 1. I decided to do a switchback and it was going really well, but I didn't see Marco de la Paz coming. He was going to the inside, although at one point he was going a little bit through the outside, but he decided to go to the inside. But I was there and he crashed into me. But to be honest, neither of us was our fault. It wasn't our fault. It was just some incident, and yeah, we didn't get the communication, and after that we are down to 12th place, which is a terrible thing, but that'll turn into 10th place because Kludak and Adobe the Boss both have penalties, enough penalties, that even though they have a large gap with me, they'll be dropping down a few places and they'll be behind me because of their penalties. So yeah, at least it isn't an absolute disaster because I'll have chances to finish in the points. So yeah, I don't have to complain much about it. So yeah, let's move on and let's finish the race. And so we maintain our 12th place and we are about to cross the line. Verstappen wins the race, Kludak is out of the race, so that means that I get a free position and we cross the line in 10th position, 1 point. So it isn't an absolute disaster this race. If I finished 11th or lower, that'll be an absolute disastrous race, but I got a point, so it wasn't an absolute disaster. But yeah, it was a bit of a disaster because Peña pulled me down the inside and miscalculated it, and I didn't see him coming, and I damaged my front wing because of it, and second, because of that touch with my teammate. But at least we didn't DNF, just like Rosberg and Hamilton in Spain 2016. At least that didn't happen. But yeah, we just made contact and he made me spin. But yeah, at least I ended up saving a point. And here we see the podium ceremony. Vertapia and the other drivers spraying champagne, and we are seeing an Alpine in the podium, and that means for the first time in this league an Alpine scores points, and it is Valian who finishes third and Sunshine finishes fourth. Well, we know that Vertapia won the race with the fastest lap. That's the thing I didn't know. In second place finished Dalton, and we are seeing that Vertapia and myself are the only ones who finished the race without any penalties. We see that Nube finished 6th position, followed by Peña, De Alex, then my teammate Marco de la Paz, who finished 8th, then Tachala, then myself, who finished 1 minute and 2 seconds ahead of Vertapia. 9th and lower are the ones who finished a minute or more behind the race winner. Then Adobe the Boss, the first driver to finish outside of the points on this race. Then Vitalius. Then El Copramen. And these are the 13 drivers who finished the race. Meanwhile, Kludak DNF'd, but he was classified as 14th. So, yeah, there you have it, guys. Hope I have a better next race, which is going to be in Silverstone. It isn't a circuit that I'm good at, but I'll try my best. So, yeah, see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.